Hi Sagittarius, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Now, Sagittarius, today we're going to be talking about the Saturn transit into Aquarius. But before we get into that, let's talk about when Saturn was in Capricorn. It would have been there for about the past 3 years. So Capricorn is your second house, a family, finances, savings. It's also speech. Now, Saturn in the second house would have restricted your finances because it has the rings of Saturn. So it's about confinement, restriction. So you would have struggled financially, especially during the beginning of that transit in Capricorn. And you would have had to work hard towards building your finances during that time, towards building your savings. But over time, Saturn would have rewarded you if you worked hard. Also, you would have had to have more responsibility towards your family during that transit. Your family would have required more of your help during that time. But now let's talk about when Saturn moves into Aquarius. So, Saturn in Aquarius is your third house. Now, your third house is younger siblings, it's your cousins, it's your neighbors. So during this time, they could be struggling, they could need your help. Also, third house is efforts. Saturn's going to require you to work really hard when he's in the third house. Saturn is naturally servitude, Saturn is hard work. And in the house of effort, Saturn's going to make you work really hard. But Saturn gives its rewards over time. Saturn rewards hard work. So if you are working hard, if you are putting forth that effort, Saturn's going to reward you. Now, Saturn here, third house represents media, represents writing, communication. So, with Saturn being in the third house, if you have an interest in writing or in media, Saturn's going to have you work hard towards that. And Saturn's aspecting your ninth house. Ninth house is publishing. So if you have any interest in writing a novel, this would be a good time to do it. Saturn would be helping give you that determination to work hard. Now let's talk about the aspects of Saturn. Saturn has a 3rd, 7th, and 10th aspect. So let's talk about that 3rd aspect. 3rd aspect is going to be on the 5th house. So 5th house is education, it's children, it's romance, creativity. So if you have children, first off, 3rd aspect of Saturn is where Saturn requires you to put in effort. So if you have children, Saturn's going to require you to put an effort into taking care of your children, more than usual. Saturn's going to make you work hard towards helping them. If you're trying to begin school, like, leaving high school, going to college, that kind of thing, Saturn would require you to put an effort towards your education. But Saturn can also bring delay. So Saturn will delay it at first, but then if you're working hard towards it, you can pursue your education. Now, if you're already in school, then Saturn's going to require you to put more effort into your education. It's going to require you to, work on your grades. Also, 5th house is romance. So you're going to have to put in more effort into being romantic. If you're looking to get into a relationship, then Saturn's going to have you put an effort into romance, into beginning a relationship. Like you'd have to put in more effort than usual, maybe. Now, 5th house is also creativity. And Saturn's sitting in the 3rd house of... 3rd house is skills of hands. It's media, it's communication, it's writing. So if you're wanting to do anything in a creative field, Saturn's going to help you put in the effort towards being creative during this time. Now, the seventh aspect of Saturn is going to fall in your ninth house, sign of Leo. So, ninth house is father, teachers, gurus. They could require your help during this time. They may be struggling. Now, third house and ninth house are both houses of travel. Third house is short distance travel, ninth house is long distance travel. So during this time, you could definitely travel. Also, Saturn's 10th aspect is going to be on the 12th house. That's foreign travel. So definitely you could travel during this transit of Saturn, which is going to last until the end of March 2025. Now, ninth house is also philosophy, it's religion, it's law. So during this time, Saturn could require you to put in, to work towards these things that maybe you were ignoring before. Maybe if you weren't interested in religion before, suddenly you're beginning to have interest towards it. Maybe there's a legal matter that comes up, and Saturn's going to require you to look into that. Now let's talk about the 10th aspect of Saturn, which is going to fall in the sign of Scorpio, in your 12th house. So 12th house is losses. Now, Saturn's aspect on the 12th house of losses is actually really good, because Saturn will reduce those losses. When Saturn aspects a malefic house, like the 6th, 8th, or 12th house, he reduces those malefic influences. So he'll reduce your losses during this time. Also, 12th house is spirituality. Saturn might require that you work towards spirituality if you were ignoring it before. 12th house is also sleep. It's bed pleasure in general, so that includes sex. Saturn could negatively impact your sex life a bit. Saturn can maybe dry that area up a bit. So where you were having more sex before, maybe you're having less sex now. Also, you could be having trouble sleeping during this time. Because Saturn's a malefic planet. He's not benefic. So, but, like I said, Saturn rewards hard work over time. So if you're diligent, then maybe Saturn will go easy on you. Now, also, there will be major changes in the sign of Scorpio. And that's because Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars, the slower moving physical planets, are all aspecting the sign of Scorpio. So, during this time, you could definitely take a foreign trip. Now, these aspects are going to be hitting the sign of Scorpio until March 12th of this year. So, between now and March 12th, you could travel to a foreign country. You could become more spiritual. You could experience some losses. Maybe, if you didn't have a sex life before, if you were a virgin or something, you could all of a sudden be having a sex life. Just major changes, though, will be coming where Scorpio sits. And that's for all signs. But that's what I have for you, Sagittarius, for the Saturn transit into Aquarius. And if you'd like to book a Vedic astrology or a tarot reading with me, you can do so at my website. It'll be linked down in the description box below. And catch you in the next one, Sagittarius.